Hey guys, this is Joe. Today I want to introduce you to our partner Vanta. Achieving ISO 27001 or SOC 2 compliance can unlock major growth for your company and build customer trust, but the process can be time intense and costly. Vanta automates compliance, getting your audit ready quickly and saving up to 85% of associated costs. And Vanta scales with your business, helping you enter new markets. Join 7,000 global companies like Atlassian, Flow Health, and Quora that trust Vanta. Claim 20% off Vanta at vanta.com/startupradio. That's vanta.com, spelled vanta.com/startupradio.
Welcome to Startuprad.io, your podcast and YouTube blog covering the German startup scene with news, interviews, and live events.
Hello and welcome everybody. This is Joe from Startuprad.io, your startup podcast and YouTube blog from Germany, as well as the world's first internet radio station dedicated to startups and tech companies. Today, our interview is once again sponsored by Startupraven.com, the easiest way to find investors or cooperation partners. Today, I would not like to welcome a startup. I would not like to welcome an investor, but I would like to very welcome Felix here, who represents a city, the city of Mainz. Hey, Felix, how you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me. Very good.
That is a pleasure. And the simple reason that for the first time ever, I do have a city here in my interview is that a company many of our audience may already know, named BioNTech, is headquartered in Mainz. And they are the company behind the Pfizer BioNTech Corona vaccine, which led to a lot of money flowing in the company, a lot of money flowing in form of taxes into the city. And that is what you want to invest sustainably in, becoming a biotech hub. That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah, true.
So let's first tell us the whole story. Who are you? How did you end up in the city of Mainz? Because you're not originally from there, right?
Exactly. Yeah. As you said, I'm Felix. I originally come from the Stuttgart area. I came here after studying in Friedrichshafen and in North Carolina. In the US, I studied public management and governance, and always had a focus in the in-betweens of spaces of politics and economics. And this interdisciplinary is also shown now in the current challenge we have in Mainz. I came here 10 years ago, working for the city and for the city's utility holding company, ZBM, that does different services for the city of Mainz. I'm now the coordinator for ZBM for the Biotech project here in Mainz that we want to work on.
The project coordinator, so the right person to talk to. We may add a few details about the city of Mainz here, right? So they have a population of somewhere around 200,000 with a lot of students here from big universities. And they are the capital of the state of Rheinland-Pfalz, Rheinland-Palatine. And they are also not too far away from the city of Frankfurt. If there's no traffic jam, no rush hour, I would say like 20 minutes by car.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And you guys are not only my birthplace, but also a very interesting place in terms of celebrating German Mardi Gras, Fastnacht. Also famous to be the city of Johannes Gutenberg, the guy who invented the book printing. And you have very research intensive a university there, as well as multiple research institutions, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So my understanding is the University of Mainz already had a Nobel laureate, and you have multiple Max Planck institutes there. And one of the institutes or institutions around the University of Mainz was working on the Mars Express mission. You have the supercomputer Morgan 1 there. and a lot of other interesting stuff. Can you tell us just a tiny bit about that? What you're all doing there, and then it becomes pretty obvious why you want to build on this basic research.
Yeah. Yeah, as you said, Mainz has always been a place for great innovation, starting at Gutenberg with printing press and with media. Mainz has also a very strong media industry with a second German television. And as you said, the university has a high, is very important in the city and for the city. All the institutes are very specialized in their part, especially to name the university medicine, where great ideas also are developed, and where startups come from. Also, the departments of chemistry, biology, and physics are very famous. So there are, as you said, supercomputers, there are mini reactors and laser and electron research done, which is very, very impressive what's going on there. And it's also impressive how to see the energy at the university to translate this research into ideas and startup ideas, and to try a company.
Mm-hmm. Personal experience, the university clinics, they are big enough to be almost their own borough. So it's really big, like 20 something buildings, some of them really big, and a lot of smart people working there. And the university, just the Johannes Gutenberg University, the big one, has more than 32,000 students. Giving the city is approximately around 220,000 people. You can see it's a very young and vibrant city. And how did BioNTech end up there?
Yeah, this was not a coincidence, and a lot of great work has been done in the last 20 years, I would say. First, there have been many people in Mainz working on this vision and this impulse from the university and from the institutes, and great brains came to Mainz and gathered around. Also now the world-known researchers Ugo Schein and Özlem Türeci, in a specific area, and they did research and also tried to translate this into real time products. So also a long time ago, the state, the city, and the university together were investing in infrastructure. For example, they came up with a technology center almost 20 years ago, and were renting lab spaces in Mainz in a time where other cities did not even think about this. And those lab spaces have always been rented out to different companies. And Mainz was really lucky to have success stories from back then Ganymede, but also Tron, and now the biggest company that is now world known, BioNTech, which is which grew a lot in the last years. 2018, 19 were really good years for them, and it also shows that there has been a fertile ground for great ideas in the last decades.
And my understanding is that some of the tax revenues of BioNTech are actually now funding what you guys are planning. I have read once, I may be mistaken here, but the whole city was working on a budget of around 100 million a year. And only BioNTech generated like several hundred millions in annual tax revenues for the city. Is that true?
What you said about the past budgets, that's true. In Germany, there is it's a secret which company paid how much taxes, but it's not a secret anymore that the year 2021 has been the year where the city had a budget or an income that led to a estimate of over 1 billion in the budget. And to give some background, the city of Mainz has been a very poor city in the last decades. The public debt was over average and kind of very high. It was over 1.4 billion public debt of the city of Mainz, and to have now in one single year over 1 billion of tax revenues, that's amazing. And also for this year, the forecast is of over 500 million for this year. So this is amazing.
Basically, your income in 1 year explodes tenfold. Basically, that's the bottom line. And now, what are you going to do with this? My understanding is you paid down debt, meaning the whole city paid down debt, and you are planning to do awesome things with the money left over, so to say. And basically, that is why we're talking here. You guys want to become a biotech hub.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the explanation that after Mainz becoming the pharmacy of the world, as our prime minister put it, we want to continue and we want to accelerate and develop the structures forward and make Mainz better than before. And we want to create an ecosystem for biotechnology of world class in Mainz, and the biotech hub is the idea to make this happen.
We may add that, of course, already being the headquarter of BioNTech, you don't necessarily stand alone there completely, but there is a big pharma and chemical cluster already around with Boehringer Ingelheim, BASF in Ludwigshafen, and Merck down in Darmstadt, which are also already big players in that area. So it kind of makes sense there. And when you're talking about becoming a biotech hub, I assume you're not just renting out the same laboratory spaces just for cheaper. You do a little bit more there, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's the minimum you have to do to replicate the success stories of the past. But we are doing a lot much more, and we are doing this together with the relevant partners, because I think this is one of the key factors that you have to include the relevant stakeholders and the relevant partners into this project to make it a success. So this means that our project structure definitely includes the state of Rheinland-Pfalz, as you said before, and it includes relevant partners from industry and from institutions and the university. So we are working together in a network, in a joint approach to develop this ecosystem, and it includes, on the one hand, like spatial planning of the city. So the city has to adjust as well to this goal of becoming the biotech hub and building this ecosystem, which starts at simple infrastructures. For example, at the moment, Mainz does not have an international school, and we know that our talents are global, and that the talents probably mostly speak English, and that basic infrastructure needs to be developed fast. We also talk about infrastructure. We talk about fiber. We talk about spaces, and we also talk about the right combination. Who needs to be on a biotech campus to make it work? Which investors, which institutes, which startups, and other side elements need to work. Also, which services need to be around, need to be there, need to be developed. That great brains from the world, that startups, that the next idea will be developed in Mainz and also can grow in Mainz.
Mm-hmm. I see. So basically, you start at the very basic stuff like international schools. You make more laboratory, and I would also assume office space available for startups. Do you also have like a personal place to talk to international investors or to get them reeled in?
Yes, we are. We are also working on this. We already do the. We have the draft of the building of the new technology center, which will be much bigger than the last one and will be broader than the last one, and will bring people together. We also know that networking today means to make collaborations happen, and we want to give the space and the ground for those collaborations. And we are aware that funding is one central point that ideas and startups get funded, because the success story we have in Mainz with BioNTech was like the probability of a product in biotechnology that it's successful is kind of low if you compare it to other fields of industry, like if you have IT startups or others. The brave investment in future ideas in solving problems of the world will be one of the one focus in Mainz, and we are also working on a funding structure that funding will be available for the startups and for the ideas that are developed in Mainz around university medicine, in biotechnology, but not only in biotechnology, because we also see that the tech part plays an important role, and the combination of um, artificial intelligence and biotechnology, that those areas are getting closer and closer together, and we are looking forward to see combinations of tech and bio, and see the outcome in a startup and in the future products that are developed in this location.
I think we're getting much closer. So basically, you are building a new hub for those startups, for those biotech startups, and for those tech startups, especially AI. But I do assume something like big data would also have a spot there, because it's really required to get some good AI out of the ground. Do you have any idea when this will become real? What are your plans? Admittedly, German governments are, doesn't matter which level, they are always pretty good in being delayed, but nonetheless, there should be a plan, a rough estimate when the building will be completed.
Yeah, that's true, and this is a there are also examples that public administration and political projects are tend to run a bit late, but we are trying to do best practice and to do it differently. We want to commit to speed as well in this project. We have seen great job, outstanding job of the BioNTech company in developing a vaccine at light speed, as their CEO calls it in their project. And we also want to give a high speed that the city of Mainz has not seen before. So we are in the spatial planning. We have a very high priority for this project, and we are planning to start digging the new area this year. So probably in summer we will already see the first moves on the ground. We have 300,000 square meters to develop. We have an old army base right next to the BioNTech headquarter, which will be available end of this year. We have an area close to the university campus, which can be built this year. So we are looking forward to see also outcomes already this year, and we are also convinced that we will do our task in terms of defining the project outline, to define the needs and the elements that we need to have as a biotech hub, to get the right partners here. So on that concept, we are also still working, and we want to get the outcome by late summer. So we are still open for also suggestions, and we want to also to work together with the companies and the partners and the startups at the university on this project draft, to build the right thing that leads towards the right direction, to have an efficient ecosystem here.
Mm-hmm. Building an ecosystem is always pretty tough, and I do know a lot of stories where this actually failed. So best of luck on that. If there's now a startup, maybe biotech, maybe an AI that could work with biotech startups, maybe an investor interested in biotech, what would you be able to offer them right now, and where can they learn more?
Yeah. Right now we are working on a platform that allows us to have a one-stop shop for investors and for startups, that we overcome the different department structures that cities and institutions have. We want to have one central position in the city, which will be located at our office, that we will coordinate to give the answers to investors, to startups, to interested people that want to locate or invest in the location of Mainz. So this is kind of crucial, I think, and we are working on this, and we want to go live in the next 2 months with a solution where people can contact us and also get participate in the development of the Biotech Hub, and that every partner or stakeholder does his part to make the location work.
Great. I think the only ones missing are podcasts right now.
Yeah.
So the website is not live as we're recording this 1st of March. We may delay a little bit the publication until your website is live. So in case of that, you'll find down here in the show notes the link to the website, and everybody can go down there and learn more. As we said, it's still in development. It's not already done yet. So you're ahead of the curve in learning about this. Felix, what is like the final closing sentence? What would be something you want startups and investors to take away from the city of Mainz and your attempt to become a place of global importance for biotech?
Yeah, we want startups and investors to realize that there is development in Mainz in the field of biotechnology. We want to be a major player in the map of biotechnology in Europe and in the world. And we want to be visible, and we want everyone to know that there are great ideas here already, that there is a network growing in Mainz on biotechnology. And we want to motivate startups and investors to come to Mainz, to grow here and to be successful here, and also get to know the city of Mainz, the liveliness, and stay here and develop good ideas together.
Well, great closing words. That's basically everything I would add as well. Hope to have you back when the building is getting off the ground. Maybe the first biotech startups or investors move in. Best of luck until then, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
That's all, folks. Find more news, streams, events, and interviews at www.startuprad.io. Remember, sharing is caring.